Today I'm looking at this Mercedes. This one's got a faulty vacuum sensor that goes into the brakes here, into the brake booster or the servo. What I noticed was I didn't have a wiring diagram, if you can hear me over the wind. So I figured out I've got 5 volts, 0 and 0. The middle 0 must be the ground, because when my test light's connected to battery positive over there, this one lights in the middle. The black one that I'm probed into, that one doesn't light this, so that must be the brain's not working, and that must be the signal. But when I've got the scan tool, I can see the signal change on the scan tool when I touch it with the test light. So that, using the ScannerDanner method, I don't need a sensor simulator. That one test light's enough to tell me I'm on the right way and the wire's okay. But here, now I've got 4.7 on the signal. Before it was shorted to ground. Either way, it's not right. It should be lower than that. It should be 0.5 with the ignition on. And just to show you, the 5 volt is 4.9, slightly higher, so we know which one's which. So what I'm going to do is fit the new vacuum sensor and see what it comes up as. I fitted the new sensor, and I'm going to show you what we've got on here now. This is ignition on, obviously. We've got 0. If I can get onto it, 0.6. I'll go on the end of it, it might be easier. There, 0.6 back probed on the signal, so that's what we should have. Before it was stuck at 0 all the time, and when I come to it today it was stuck at basically 4.7 all the time, so that's shorting out one way or the other way. It's faulty, whatever it is, so I can stick that one back in. The main thing is how I tested it. I knew that was the signal because, like I say, when I touched this on there, the signal changed. So I managed to diagnose it with just a test light. And the next one I've got is the ABS sensor. When I went to that, there was basically across the, you take the wheel arch liner out of there, there was no change on the wheel when I spun it. And I had almost 12 volts across the 2 wires. And it should be working. There was no change. Even if the bearing was bad in a little bit of it, there should be a bit of it that would start to have the magnets when you spin the wheel and they go past the sensor. There should have been a little bit of it to see some change at some point, but it didn't do it the whole way around with the wheel, wherever it was. So I was happy to call a faulty sensor on the ABS sensor. And after testing this and seeing that it changed on live data, I was happy to call that as being faulty. There's the old one up there. To show that it works now, I'm going to put this is the wheel speed sensor we're looking at. If I spin the wheel, I can get a change, and you see a bit on the graph. So that one's working, it wasn't doing anything before. The other thing we had was, if I come out of that one, the other thing I had was, where would that be? I'm trying to think what it is. The sensor here that I've just changed. I don't see anything that's indicating that. Maybe it's in here. There, brake pressure. No, I'm looking for vacuum. Where the heck's the vacuum? I must have seen it before because I was using it. We'll try that and see if that changes. 0.9. I'll see if that changes. I don't think it's that one. Oh, there it is. I'm not really with it today. That one, forget that one. So we'll look at that one. We've got no vacuum. There. So if I start the car, that should change now. But like I say, using the test light on the black wire, I could get this to change on the scan tool, so I knew it was okay. And also because the test light didn't light when I touched the black wire, even though it was stuck at 0 volts, I knew it wasn't a short in the wire, otherwise it would have lit the test light. See there? I don't know what was going on there. See that one? It's every once in a while it's dropping down. I'll go and start it and see what happens. Look at that. I didn't expect that to happen. So I'm going to start the car and see what happens. There it is, we're going into a negative pressure, so we have vacuum. Wasn't doing that before, so it's all good. I think I was getting a low battery and it was confusing it before, so it seems fine now. So I'll switch it off and then I'll press the brake pedal a few times and that should lose the vacuum. First of all, is it holding vacuum? Yeah, it's holding vacuum quite well. So if I press that a few times, I think this is something to do with a stop-start. So I'll press the brake a few times to get rid of the vacuum. It's changed it anyway. We're back to atmospheric pressure. Oh no, it's still minus 1 bar. But it is working. There's maybe a bit of vacuum still left in there. There's the two sensors, the vacuum sensor and the brake booster, or the brake servo, and the ABS. Now if I would have just read the fault codes and changed them, it would have fixed it, but it wouldn't be a diagnostic, it would just be a code read and trying parts on it until you get it right. It could have been something else, could have been a broken wire. So knowing how to diagnose it is more important than just reading a code and changing it.